very much everyone for coming. It's an absolutely glorious day. We managed to arrange that. We'll take full credit for the weather around it. So thank you to lots of different guests from all sorts of organisations from around Harlow, from the town itself and from the surrounding area. This is a really proud day for us. It's a really big momentous moment for us because we're announcing the purchase of this site from GSK. So, and it's a wonderful opportunity. We've been talking about moving onto the site and starting to get on with the planning and the building work, and it's come to fruition with one more step along the journey. One of the frustrating things is that we can see all the excitement in the future and there's still a lot of work still to be done, but now we've got ownership of the site, we can start to do some of the detailed work that we need to in terms of looking inside, behind some of the walls and looking into some of the services that are hidden, but we know we need to make some changes to those in order to refurbish this building, which is going to be the heart of the campus. This building will remain as it is from the outside, but inside will become a mixture of offices and microbiology laboratories. The other big thing we're doing on the site, which is why we're standing here, if you want to have a look at it, we're building a new block, which is labelled H50 here, which is going to be right next to this building, and that's going to be the high containment, highly specialised microbiology, of which there are only a few sites around the world to do this. This will be one of the 2 or 3 leading public health science centres in the world. We'll have about 2,750 staff from PHE here. We're looking for some partners to come onto the site with us, and we'll be creating thousands more jobs in the construction period. And the planning permission, which we'll be putting into the council within the next few weeks, has been based on a really extensive engagement. We've engaged with every school in the town. We've got about 300 different groups and individuals who we've made contact with. We've run 2 very successful exhibitions in the town and had a lot of interest about what we're doing here. So I remember when the announcement was made, probably about almost a couple of years ago now, we talked about making Harlow our home. That was the little catchphrase that we used at the time, and we have that on our banners that we have around different parts of the PHE buildings now. I think we're getting closer to that day. You know, this feels a really momentous stage to take us forward, building on the engagement, doing the detailed planning work, and then 2021 we'll start seeing people come on site, so that by 2024 we've got a fully operational modern public health science centre, which is what this country and the world needs from the UK PLC. So thank you very much for coming for our flag raising and for the opening of the signs. I'm going to ask Robert Halfon as the local MP to say a few words, and for John Klempner as the leader of the local
I've got a framed picture of President Kennedy, who happens to be one of my favourite political figures, and it says we chose to go to the moon, not because it was easy, but because it was hard. And thinking of the flag ceremony later, it reminds me of when we went to the moon in 1969 and planted flag on the moon. Today we're planting a very important flag in Harlow, and not because it was easy, but because it was hard. I remember 5 years ago speaking to you and others, and there was a lot of times when we thought we would not get Public Health England into Harlow, and it was a huge amount of work in terms of Harlow Council, who did masses, and Malcolm and Morley and the councillors, and I worked very closely with the government to try and lobby hard to get Public Health England here. And this, without exaggeration, is one of the most, I think, dramatic developments in Harlow over the last 50 years since the founding of Harlow. We will not just be the public health science capital of Essex, not just of the east of England, not just of England, not even of the United Kingdom. Apart from Atlanta, in the United States, we'll be the public health science capital of the world, with 400 million plus pounds of money from the government at a time when we all know there is difficulties with the economy. Now, this is important for Harlow and our country, but important for Harlow because it means thousands of jobs, it means thousands of highly skilled jobs, and we want our young people to get those jobs. That's why the role of Harlow College, the role of Anglia Ruskin, the role of schools will be immensely important, because they will be the people who will be training our young people to get the skills they need, so that Public Health England hire apprentices, which you're doing already, which I'm really pleased about, and get Harlow's young people to do the best jobs that are available in Public Health England. It's going to bring money into our town. It's going to bring loads of businesses, micro businesses. It comes alongside the enterprise zone. So this is an incredible moment in the history of Harlow, without exaggeration. As I said, we chose to get Public Health England here, not because it was easy, but because it was hard. But we know it will change Harlow and make Harlow fit for the next generation and the next century to come. And thank you.
It's the 70th anniversary of Harlow being designated a new town. So we're doing lots of events about celebrating its history and the great things about it in Harlow. But it's also an opportunity to look forward to the next 70 years. And there are some genuinely fantastic things going on. We've got the Enterprise Zone that's going great guns. The London Road South element is now, occupancy is going really well. Harlow Council's leading on development of the London Road North piece. We've got new infrastructure coming on board with a new junction on the M11, and clearly this Public Health England is a really important piece of that jigsaw. And just to emphasise what Rob said, I always talk about the four legs of the stool in regenerating Harlow, and those are jobs, and there's lots of stuff going on in there. There's infrastructure, still some work to do in there. I'd like the West Anglia Main Line 4 tracks at some point, but that's going really well. On housing, which is the third leg, we're in the middle of the local plan process, which is unnecessarily long and tortuous, but we are getting there. I spent some time with the leader of East Herts and Chief Executive of East Herts Council earlier on in the week when I was in Birmingham at the Local Government Association Conference discussing their plans. So that's going really well. The fourth leg, and I just want to emphasise this, is the skills thing. And I suppose that's the thing that I'm not most worried about, but whereas I can get my hands around all the other three legs, there's still a way to go. And clearly the college is doing fantastic work, you're absolutely right, but I think there's more we can do collectively to make sure that Harlow people are equipped to take advantage of these fantastic opportunities.
This is a really important day for both Harlow and for Public Health England. Delighted to be here with all of you in order to raise the flag on the flagpole to announce that we now own this site. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well done.
That's great.
He needs to win, Richard.
No, I mean, it's a meeting with